and it means that is the Q is equal to peak runoff rate given in meter cube per second, means that is the in single second or per second how much meter cube of volume of water is flowing there, right? That is the Q, and it is said that is the it is the peak runoff rate, right? The rational method is used to estimate the peak runoff rate, that is the maximum runoff rate. And in this formula, C is nothing but the runoff coefficient, and runoff coefficient is given as the ratio of runoff to the rainfall, and then I is the rainfall intensity given in per hour per hour, and this rainfall intensity is the for duration at least equal to the time of concentration of watershed, right? Whatever maybe the time of concentration, and for at least that duration, the that rainfall intensity should be there. Then capital A is
Sir,
the
हॅलो
yes.
सर पीपीटी स्लाइड दिसत नाही.
नाही. आता दिसत आहे? सर्वांनाच नाही दिसत आहे का? दिसत आहे काही जणांना? स्लाइड दिसत आहे का काही जणांना तुमच्यापैकी, का कोणालाच दिसत नाही?
नाही सर.
नाही सर.
नाही दिसतच नाही. आता दिसत आहे का स्क्रीन?
हो सर.
Right, and in this formula, capital A is the watershed area given in hectare. Capital A is the watershed area given in hectare. Now, there are some assumptions about, there are 4 assumptions given in the rational method. The first assumption of the rational method means the formula, that is the rational formula is developed by assuming some things, right? Some things are taken into consideration, some things are assumed, and then that rational formula is derived, right? And for that, the first assumption is that for this method, that is for the rational method, it is assumed that the rainfall duration is equal to the time of concentration results in the greatest peak discharge, right? Means that the rainfall duration, there should be at least a rainfall event of the duration equal to the time of concentration of the watershed. Means whatever may be the time of concentration of that watershed, and for that duration, there should be rainfall event, right? Means the whatever may be the time of concentration of that watershed, and time of concentration of that watershed means it is the time taken by the water to flow from the remotest point of the watershed to its outlet, right? And for that time there should be a rainfall event of at least that duration. Then the second assumption of the rational formula is that the time of concentration is the time required for the runoff to travel from the remote or the most distant point of the watershed to the outlet, right? Means it is explained about the time of concentration here. That is what is the time of concentration. And further, that once a rainfall event begins, the amount of water flowing out the watershed will begin to increase until the entire watershed is contributing water at the time of concentration. And what this line means, it means that At the time of concentration, all area or all parts of the watershed starts to deliver the water or starts to contribute the water to the outlet, right? Means at the time of concentration, whole part of the watershed start to deliver the water to the outlet, start to or contribute the water to the outlet. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Then the third assumption of the rational method, rainfall intensity is uniform over the duration equal or the for the duration of time equal to or greater than the time of concentration of that watershed. Means the rainfall falling over that contributing area or over that catchment area or over that basin, means over that watershed area, that rainfall should be at uniform rate, that the rainfall intensity should be uniform, and this uniformity of the intensity of the rainfall should be at least equal to the time of concentration of the watershed or maybe greater than the time of concentration of the watershed. Under steady rainfall intensity, the maximum discharge will occur at the watershed outlet at the time when the entire area above the outlet is contributing runoff, right? Means once the rainfall intensity is uniform over the watershed area and after the time of concentration, the whole part of the watershed, right? The whole part of the watershed discharge maximum water at the outlet, whole part of the watershed discharges maximum water discharge at the outlet. Then the fourth assumption is that the rational coefficients are independent of the intensity of the rainfall. The fourth assumption of the rational method is that the rational coefficients are independent of the intensity of the rainfall. Means and um, whatever the coefficient mostly taken as the 0.7, right? Mostly the runoff coefficient is taken as 0.7, but it is assumed in the rational method that is the it is independent on the rational on the intensity of the rainfall, but runoff coefficient may be dependent on the land cover, right? Or maybe the vegetative cover, and also on the soil type, also on the soil type. Then what are the limitations of the rational method? The first limitation of the rational method is that the rational method assumes that the drainage basin or drainage basin characteristics are fairly homogeneous, right? Fairly homogeneous means that is the which different drainage characteristics may be there, that is the watershed slope, mostly the watershed slope. And in the rational method, it is assumed that the drainage basin characteristics are fairly homogeneous. If the watershed being considered includes a variety of surfaces such as paved area, wooded area, or agricultural fields, and then another method should be selected, right? It is considered or assumed that the drainage basin characteristics are homogeneous. Drainage basin characteristics are homogeneous. But in a watershed, there is a very least chance that is the all basin characteristics may be homogeneous, or mostly time the characteristics or the slope of watershed is not uniform. This is the limitation of rational method. Then the second limitation of the rational method is that the rational method is less accurate for larger areas, and it is not recommended for drainage areas larger than 80 hectare. The aerial limitation or the contributing area limitation for the rational method is that this method is suitable only up to the area of 80 hectare. This method is suitable only up to the area of 80 hectare. It is not suitable or not recommended for the areas larger than 80 hectare. If the land or the catchment area is larger than 80 hectare, then the rational method is not useful to find the peak runoff rate in that area. Then the third assumption of the rational method, the only output from rational method is a peak discharge, right? The output means the discharge, as the outlet is the peak discharge, that is the maximum discharge. The method provides only an estimate of a single point on the runoff heterograph, means it gives only the runoff at the outlet, only at the outlet of the watershed. It does not give the runoff in the watershed area, or in the any channel of the watershed area, or in the gully, any gully of the watershed area. It does not give the peak discharge value. It only gives the peak discharge value at its outlet. The fourth limitation of the rational method is that the average rainfall intensities used in the formula have no time sequence relation to the actual rainfall pattern during the storm. This is the theoretical method. For this, we need in the formula to put the rainfall intensity, right? And we take that rainfall intensity from the rainfall data. From the rainfall data means the average rainfall intensity used in the formula have no time sequence relation to the actual rainfall pattern, right? Means the rainfall intensity value that we use in the rational formula, that intensity may or may not be found in the actual rainfall pattern, right? That intensity may or may not be found in the actual rainfall pattern. This is the limitation of the rational method.